Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Onuchauskas, where we're gonna have a look at the markets. We are having the US opening bell right now, so we had to have this Traders Tea Time being pushed. We had it pushed a little bit, like 15 minutes, a little bit further. So yeah, apologies for if you were expecting this one 15 minutes earlier. So yeah, we're going to have a look at the markets, what's happening right now, what happened during the European session, and how the markets are reacting at the open of the US markets. Okay, so before we continue, let's have a look at the risk disclaimer here. So JFD Brokers offers exclusively consultancy-free services. The content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll just give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so let's have a look at the charts. So once again, guys, I do apologize for the late start today, but just had to push this webinar a little bit later. But anyway, so let's look at the S&P 500. Now, we can see that we've opened lower, and we are opening lower around like about 23 points lower today. We're still in this wedge formation here on the daily chart, so it's kind of, to be honest, we're waiting for more of a decisive move from this index, and the levels that we're watching here are still the same, the 2754 area. If we get a break above this, then this could push higher, and if we get a move lower here towards the 2682 that we also mentioned in a couple of previous videos, if we get a break below this, then this could open the path towards lower levels here. First, probably towards the 2645 area, 45-47, and if that doesn't hold, then it could push it towards this 200 EMA here on a daily chart, which would be around the 2610. Similar story on the Dow. Well, the Dow is kind of stuck in between these two key areas here, between the 24,600. Well, actually, it's now slightly above it. It was initially between the 24,600 and the 24,300. We can see that it's trying to break above here, but now, even though it's slightly above the 24,600, it's being held here by the 100 EMA, shown here on the daily chart, shown here as a green line. So we need, for this one to be more interesting for us, we would need maybe a move above the 25,000, and then because then we would have this trend line here that started on the 29th of January, the downward sloping trend line. So if it would move above the 25,000, it could open, because it could open the path towards this area here to around 25,450, 25,500 area. This would come in line, like I said, with this downwards moving trend line. It could have a test of it from underneath. A break above this could push the price even higher. But before we consider all this, we need a good move towards the 25,000 mark. On the downside, of course, if we get a break below the 24,300 again, and a close, especially a close below the 24,300, this could open the path towards this 200 EMA here, and that would be around the 23,750. So keep an eye on this, guys, as well. So before we jump into a few pairs, let's have a look at a few commodities. So oil, crude oil, WTI crude oil. We are stuck here in this little symmetrical triangle. It's getting closer to its apex here. We're waiting for a good move on oil, to be honest. We will consider higher levels if we get a break above this this area, above this upper side of the triangle, then we could the next level that we would be watching would be the 64.15 area. Yep, 64.15, and then if that doesn't hold, we could push towards the recent January highs. That would be around the 66 mark, 66.40, so something like this. If we, like I said, sorry, if we get a move above the 64.15, if we, on the downside, yeah, if we don't go higher, if we move lower towards this lower side of this triangle, if we get a break below this 60.65 area, if we get a break below this, then we could push the price lower towards this February low at around $58. So with this one, to be honest, it's quite difficult to predict. I mean, it could pop any side. So just watch out for this one, guys. I mean, watch for a break of this triangle. Let's have a quick look at gold. Gold is selling off today. Yesterday it seemed that it managed to close above the 1336 level that we were talking about, but today we're seeing a reversal again. Now, because the day is not finished yet, if we get a move back up towards the 1336 and the price will close above this mark, then expect some further appreciation in the price. So interesting one to watch out for. I mean, it's even though it's a difficult one to predict right now, a clear move lower could be a break below the 1313 area. That would be around this 100 EMA shown here on the daily chart. So if the price gets back here and we get a break below this, then this could push towards our round number of 1300. We're still waiting to see, and I'm just now wondering if we're actually going to see it or not. But still, like I said, 1313, a good number to watch out for here because it's 100 EMA on the daily chart. Okay, let's have a look at a few pairs now. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is gaining today. This morning we were covering this pair, and we were talking about this level here at 0.77900. So we're seeing that the price managed to move quite significantly, almost towards yesterday's highs. So now it's going to meet its resistance here at 100 EMA, unless this is going to shoot straight through it. The most important resistance will be this downwards moving trend line here that started on the 31st of January. So if this manages to get towards it, keep an eye on this one, because like I said, a break above could indicate that the bulls are getting back into this pair, and we potentially could see some higher levels, maybe getting back towards the 0.78950 mark, and maybe higher. So like I said, watch out for this one. On the downside, of course, we still have our level of 0.77600. We will consider that level back in the game if we get a break below the 0.77900. So if we get a break below this, then this opens the path towards this 0.77600 and potentially maybe lower. But at the moment, the candle, this is a 4-hour chart, by the way, and the 4-hour candle is looking strong. Probably we could see some further upside. Euro dollar is moving nowhere. Looking even at the daily chart here, it's not really forming anything. It found its good resistance here at the 124.350 area, and yeah, so it's just slightly below it. It doesn't want to go higher and it doesn't want to go lower. So probably here we're gonna wait until it will give us some sort of a better indication on what it wants to do. Maybe you could do something like this here and watch this steep upwards moving trend line, short-term trend line. If we suddenly get a move below this, yep, this could probably move towards the 123,500. If this is gonna hold like it's holding right now, watch out for this 124,350 area. A break above could push it higher towards the first level that we're watching is this one here, the 125,100. Of course, also we're looking at the 125 level, the round one, but again, sometimes, like I said, it sometimes likes to overshoot these round numbers. Yeah, so yeah, the first one that we're watching is the 125,100 level. If we get a break above the 124,350. Pound dollar, yeah, pound dollar. Okay, so this morning again we were talking about this managed to get back into this triangle again. We had a bit of a retracement this morning. Now we're seeing that it's totally reversing and moving higher. Potentially, probably if we break the 139 mark, which is it is right now, this could get pushed towards this trend line here, the downwards moving trend line that's excuse me, that started on the 25th of January. Now, could be a good level to watch, as if we would get a break above this, then yep, it's opening the path towards higher levels. Also, we've got the 140, the psychological 140 level, so which we're still keeping on our radar. If we get closer to it, of course, if we get closer to it, then yeah, we might get a break and move higher towards the 141,500. But let's move slowly here. Let's see what this will do, to be honest, first. Okay, let's have a quick look at the at dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, we're seeing some weakness again. That's followed by yesterday's weakness. We can see that the candle this is a daily chart, by the way. It is turning, well, negative. Probably could continue. We are slightly below our level that we were mentioning in a couple of previous videos. The 129.150 is just slightly below this, and if this is going to continue dropping, well, we probably might reach the bottom of this, the bottom line of this, the bottom side of this channel here. To be honest, that would be an ideal scenario, because if it would drop here, we could watch out for this area. This area could be around the 127,500, and if we get a break below, it is indicating that this wants to continue dropping. If we'll get a good bounce, well, looking at the bigger picture here, actually let's put a daily chart. Oops, let's zoom out. We could, if we get a good bounce from this bottom side of this trend channel, then we could it could move back towards the 130 and then maybe higher. So higher could be the 132 mark, around this area here. So, but that's only, like I said, we will only consider this if we get above the 130. Yeah. So okay, guys, let's quickly look at one more pair. That's, well, it's an interesting one, to be honest, because here, let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is bouncing off of its key support level at 105,550. If we start getting closer to this 106,350 area, well, watch out for a further break here, because we did test this little downwards moving trend line a few times. This trend line started on the 8th of January, so we had a few tests, good tests here, and we can see that it's not really kind of breaking this 105,550 that we've got marked here. and it seems that it wants to push higher. So if we get towards the 106,350, watch out for, like I said, watch out for this area, this underneath this trend line. We might get a pop. And if we do, then the next level to watch out for would be the 107,900. So okay guys, I hope you have a good US session. I'm not going to take any more of your time. I hope you have the rest of the day a good day, and as always, keep an eye on the price action, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye.